When a woman hugs you first, your body often reacts before your mind has time to understand what just happened. And if you dismiss it as only friendly behavior, you may be missing a message that was meant specifically for you. I am saying this to you as a psychologist, but also as a woman who has seen men misunderstand this moment again and again. A hug is not simply arms around another body. It is a choice. It is timing. It is intention wrapped in softness. And when she is the one who starts it, something meaningful has already shifted inside her. Many men believe attraction shows up loudly through words, flirting, or very obvious signals. But female psychology rarely moves in straight, simple lines. Women often test emotional safety before they ever test desire. A hug that she initiates is one of those quiet tests. It is her asking without speaking, "How do you hold me? How do you accept closeness? Do you tense up, pull back, try to control, or relax into the moment?" Pay attention to this. She did not wait for you to take the lead. That alone carries weight. It means that in that moment, she felt safe enough to step over a boundary first. Safety is not the same as being polite. Safety is calm in the nervous system. Her body made the decision before her words ever could. And here is the part most men fail to notice. The hug is not only about affection, it is also about observation. She is reading your breathing, your stillness, your control. She is sensing whether you rushed to take more than she offered or whether you respect the exact size of the connection she opened. Women are very sensitive to how men handle power in quiet moments. A hug is a quiet moment that carries a lot of power. If her hug lasts a second longer than expected, that is rarely accidental. Extending time is one of the oldest nonverbal signs of emotional curiosity. She's checking whether staying feels better than stepping away. If her arms feel firm instead of loose, she is communicating presence, not obligation. If she relaxes into your chest, she is briefly letting go of control. That only happens when trust has already started to grow. But it is important not to turn this into fantasy. A hug is not a promise. It is an invitation to show emotional intelligence. Many men ruin this moment by trying to escalate, tease, or turn it into humor. That response tells her, you cannot sit inside intimacy without performing, and performance quickly destroys mystery. The men who stand out are the ones who understand containment. You do not squeeze, you do not pull her closer, you do not try to extend the moment beyond what she offered. You simply match her energy and allow the hug to end naturally. That kind of restraint signals confidence, not lack of interest. It tells her you do not chase signals, you understand them. When she hugs you first, she is not saying, "I want you." She is saying, "I am watching who you are." When closeness appears unexpectedly, whether you realize it or not, your response writes a story in her mind that words could never fully explain. Here is the deeper truth most men are never told. A woman's first hug is rarely only about you. It is also about her past. Every woman carries quiet memories of moments when closeness felt unsafe, confusing, overwhelming, or disappointing. So when she initiates physical contact, she is testing whether this moment will repeat an old wound or create a new experience. This is why very small details matter so much. Your hands, your posture, your stillness. Women do not just feel attraction in the present moment. They predict the future based on it. She is unconsciously asking herself, if I let this man get closer later, will I feel protected or will I feel pressured? Many men believe confidence means taking control. In female psychology, real confidence shows up as self-regulation. A man who can stay grounded while being touched is rare. If your body becomes stiff, she senses emotional guardedness. If your grip tightens, she senses hunger or insecurity. If you rush to talk right after, she senses discomfort with silence. Silence, by the way, is where trust often grows. After a hug, the pause matters more than the contact itself. If you do not rush to fill the space with nervous words, you signal emotional steadiness. Her nervous system reads that steadiness is strength. This is biology, not romance. Another detail men often overlook is context. Did she hug you after sharing something personal? That is a bonding hug. Did she hug you when arriving or leaving? That is often a boundary-setting hug meant to create familiarity without verbal commitment. Did she hug you in front of other people? That can be social signaling. Women are very aware of how gestures look to others, not just how they feel internally. If she initiates a hug during a vulnerable moment, she's offering comfort and watching to see if you can hold emotional weight without trying to fix her. Men who respond with calm presence instead of solutions are remembered. Men who immediately try to solve problems are slowly pushed out of the emotional circle. Here is a hard truth. Some women hug first because they are checking whether attraction could grow, not because it already exists. That is not manipulation. That is discernment. She is collecting information. And the information she gathers is how you respond to closeness without entitlement. This is why chasing clarity too early often backfires. Asking what the hug meant destroys the safety she was exploring. Attraction deepens when a woman feels free, not questioned. Men who demand certainty too soon often do so because they fear uncertainty. Women sense that fear instantly. The strongest response is simple and grounded. You remain present. You do not analyze out loud. You do not rush forward or retreat. You allow the moment to be what it was. And in doing that, you show her something rare. You show her that closeness does not make you anxious, greedy, or controlling. It makes you calm. That calmness is what stays with her long after the hug ends. Warmth without expectation. You do not replay the hug in your head. You do not mention it later. You allow it to exist as a moment, not a promise or a deal. That alone communicates abundance and emotional maturity. When a woman hugs you first, she is not asking you to take action. She is allowing something about herself to be seen. And whether she moves closer again later depends completely on what she felt from you in those quiet seconds. Pay close attention now, because this is where most men either rise calmly or fade away without ever understanding why. A woman remembers how you made her feel in her body much longer than what you said to her mind. When she hugs you first, her body is asking a question your words should never try to answer. What she is checking for is emotional stability, emotional adulthood. Can you stay present without grabbing for more? Can you enjoy closeness without trying to claim it? Many men confuse attraction with ownership. Women sense the difference immediately. Here is something uncomfortable but honest. If a woman feels that a hug boosts your ego more than your awareness, her attraction shrinks. Not because you made a mistake, but because you showed a need she never agreed to carry. Female psychology is highly sensitive to emotional weight. A hug is light. When you turn it heavy, she pulls away. This is why what happens after matters more than the hug itself. Do you act differently afterward? Do you become warmer but tense, more focused but also more nervous? She notices that shift right away. Consistency feels safe. Sudden intensity feels like a responsibility forming. And responsibility suffocates desire. A man who understands this remains the same man after the hug. Calm, grounded, interested, but not attached. He allows her to move toward him again only if she chooses to. That freedom is exactly what lets attraction grow without pressure. Another truth most men are not ready to accept is this. Sometimes a hug is a closing moment, not an opening one. Some women hug first to soften distance, not to remove it. It can be a quiet way of letting go without saying it out loud. If you chase meaning after that hug, you destroy its purpose. If you respect it, you leave with your dignity intact. Men who succeed in dating are not the ones who read every signal perfectly. They are the ones who do not fall apart emotionally when a signal is unclear. Emotional strength is attractive. Desperation is loud, even when nothing is said. And this brings us to masculine containment. When you can feel warmth without rushing toward more touch, sex, or reassurance, you show inner fullness. Women are drawn to men who do not leak need through their behavior. This does not mean being distant or cold. It means being steady. A hug, she starts, is not a green light. It is a reflection. It shows how you handle intimacy in its earliest and most fragile form. Do you push forward, shut down, or stay centered? That response shapes her next choice more than any clever words ever could. The irony is simple. The men who get hugged again are the ones who do not act like the first hug meant more than it did. They let meaning grow on its own. They trust time. They trust themselves. And when a woman feels that kind of grounded presence, she stops testing so much. She comes closer again. Not because you chased her, but because you did not. So let me leave you with the truth beneath all of this. The one most men never hear spoken clearly. A woman's first hug is less about chemistry and more about character. It is her nervous system touching yours and quietly asking, can I relax here, or do I need to stay alert? Women do not fall for men who chase moments. They fall for men who can hold moments without trying to control where they lead. That ability signals leadership on an emotional level, not dominance, not tactics. Leadership that says, I am comfortable with closeness and I am just as comfortable without it. When you understand this, you stop overthinking every touch. You stop replaying the hug in your mind. You stop tying your value to whether she does it again. And that inner shift completely changes how women experience you. Because here is the paradox. The less you need the hug to mean something, the more likely it is that one day it will. Emotional independence is deeply attractive. It tells her you are not asking her to manage your emotions. You are inviting her to share space, not carry weight. This is why mature attraction feels calm, not chaotic. When a woman hugs you first and senses that you are not rushing to label it, she feels free. And freedom is the ground where desire grows. Pressure destroys it at the root. And yes, sometimes you will misunderstand a hug. Sometimes it truly is just warmth, kindness, or closure. A grounded man accepts that without bitterness. He does not harden. He does not pull away. He does not become distant. He stays himself. That consistency leaves a deeper impression than any dramatic reaction ever could. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. Intimacy is not something to grab. It is something you are invited into. And invitations are only given to those who feel safe, steady, and complete on their own. So the next time a woman hugs you first, do not ask, "What does this mean for me?" Ask instead, "Who am I being right now?" Because that is what she is truly responding to. Now, I want to hear from you. Think about the last time a woman started physical closeness with you. Did you feel calm or did you feel the urge to act immediately? Comment below using this simple equation and complete it honestly. Closeness plus my reaction. If this message gave you clarity you have never heard before, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who needs to understand female psychology at a deeper level.